Hello, everyone. My name is Courtney, and I'm the Family Engagement Specialist at Durham's Partnership for Children. Within this video, I will provide you with family engagement requirements approved by the School Readiness and NC Pre-K Committee and DCDEE. I created a family engagement toolkit for you and will reference it in this video. Please know that feedback from sites and families were used in shaping family engagement requirements for the 2020-2021 school year. I encourage you to bookmark this family engagement toolkits on your computer or print it for two reasons. This guidance may be amended by DPFC and the NC Pre-K State Office as needed in accordance with changes and trends related to COVID-19. And the second reason, it will be easily accessible to you, and you may reference it periodically to ensure that requirements are completed timely. Also, the Family Engagement Action Plan, which is the governing document for all programs, was sent to you all. However, this toolkit is a condensed version of that document. The toolkit lists all family engagement requirements and has clickable links that will provide you with a host of forms and resources, such as a photo and video release form for families, home visit request forms, conference templates, TS Gold letters to families, and more. We will review all of those resources at some point in this video. Think of the toolkit as a one-stop shop for all things family engagement. Since we are virtual, I attempted to make documents easily accessible. Just an overview, requirements for the 2020-2021 school year include My Teaching Strategies, home visits, formal parent, guardian, teacher conferences, family engagement activities, site surveys, and family child check-ins, which may vary based on mode of instruction. So, what is family engagement? According to Durham's Partnership for Children, family engagement is a multifaceted approach. Family engagement is a collaborative process where families, children, and early childhood professionals build positive relationships that honor family culture and fosters child success. Pre-K students are able to engage with other students, teachers, and their community in a fun environment. On the local level, we have built on this guidance provided by DCDEE and created a robust family engagement plan. DPFC has shaped its family engagement action plan based on 6 components of family engagement, which are advocacy and decision-making, communication, community collaboration, parenting and training, student learning, and volunteering. Ultimately, our objective is that families, children, and early childhood professionals will feel more connected through the collaborative process of family engagement by building positive relationships that honor family culture and foster child success. Okay, let's get to the toolkit. This guidance may be amended by DPFC and the NC Pre-K State Office, as stated earlier, in accordance with changes and trends related to COVID. All programs must adhere by the following requirements. That includes private centers, Head Start, and Durham Public Schools. Mandates from DCDEE will be streamlined with DPFC requirements. Please understand that the start of the school year may look different due to local, state, and federal health and safety measures. The form in which requirements are completed may look different this school year as well. Failure to comply with requirements may directly affect a site slot allocation for the following school year. Family engagement will be implemented within the pre-K program and also within the home to support the home-to-school and school-to-home learning exchange. Documentation of family engagement efforts will be kept at each pre-K site, including the date, activity completed, and number of families in attendance. The first requirement is that sites are required to use My Teaching Strategies. This supports effective teaching and assessment while providing you with more time to spend with the children in your program. It automatically links teaching and assessment, making it easier to connect the dots across the most important aspects of high-quality early childhood education. With TS Gold, teachers can use a variety of online tools to gather and organize meaningful data quickly, including online portfolios where children's work can be stored, create a developmental profile of each child to answer the questions such as what does this child know, what is he or she able to do, that can be used to plan each child's learning. And lastly, to generate comprehensive reports that can be customized easily and shared with family members and other stakeholders. Also, please encourage families to download the Teaching Strategies of Family portal. In addition to TSG, sites may also use other communication apps or strategies to communicate with families, such as communication apps, Parent Square, Blooms, or Class Dojo, video conferencing apps, Zoom, Google Classroom, Google Hangouts, and lastly, social media apps such as Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. These platforms are definitely not requirements. However, sites found them to be very useful last year during remote learning. So I definitely encourage you to use a few of those. Secondly, sites are required to complete at least one home visit per family per school year. All home visits must be completed by Friday, September 4th, and documentation of home visits must be completed. Regarding home visits, entry into the home is not a requirement. We want to ensure the safety of teachers and families. Therefore, meeting outside of the home, such as on the porch or at a park, is completely acceptable. Home visits may be face-to-face or virtual. Also, per the NC Pre-K reopening guidance, DCDEE states that home visits and orientation may be done remotely. So please be safe. The third requirement, sites are required to complete one formal parent-guardian-teacher conference per quarter in alignment with TS Goal checkpoints. Conferences may be conducted in lieu of required family engagement check-ins. For example, the first checkpoint is due October 16th. For that week, your conference can also count for the family-child check-in. Sites are highly encouraged to utilize TS Goal to conduct conferences. However, the site may use their own template. In the event that a parent or guardian declines the conference, it must be documented with parent or guardian signature. And just a small suggestion, you can use tools such as Sign Up Genius, Google Forms, or Doodle Poll to schedule those conferences. And to add to that, the other two checkpoints throughout the school year are January 15th, 2021 and March 26th, 2021. Requirement number 4, sites are required to complete at least 4 family engagement activities per school year, with at least one activity outside of traditional work and school hours. And at least one of those activities must be focused on the transition to kindergarten. At minimum, 2 out of 4 activities must be completed by mid-January, and at least 4 activities should be completed by April 30th. You're more than welcome to do more than 4. However, the minimum is 4. Documentation of each family engagement activity must be completed, and these can be done either face-to-face or remotely. A fifth requirement, sites are required to complete fall and spring family engagement surveys. These surveys are a requirement for both directors and lead teachers. They evaluate the 6 components of family engagement and the program's strengths, goals, and needs from the pre-K perspective. They are to be completed by September 30th and March 30th. I will send surveys out at least 2 weeks prior to the due date, and they will be conducted either via Google Form or SurveyMonkey. The results will be compiled and shared with sites during monitoring. Please note that failure to complete surveys by the deadline will be recorded by myself, the Family Engagement Specialist. Lastly, our Family Engagement Check-ins, which is required by DCDEE. Family Child Check-ins are opportunities for the lead teacher with the teacher assistant as an optional participant and a child and family to connect live through two-way communication, meaning the teacher communicates with the child family and the child and family communicates back every week while a child family is participating in remote learning. A check-in could take place through a call, text, video conference, or through a socially distanced in-person visit while everyone wears face coverings. A check-in may be a brief conversation, or it could be a longer period of time depending on a child or family need. Building a strong relationship through frequent quality interactions with families is always important, but even more important when providing remote learning. Families also need to be kept informed of changes in schedule or protocols. Lead teachers are required to offer at least one check-in every week to each family participating in remote learning. Prepare for and document every check-in in writing. Make every reasonable effort to communicate with the family in an accessible manner, such as adjust the timing of a check-in given family feedback on scheduling. Attempt to contact a family member through multiple formats, such as text message, phone call, in-person socially distanced visit, or other avenues if unsuccessful. And for non-English dominant families, to provide communication through an interpreter, such as a staff member or a family member. It is recommended that lead teachers provide applicable technical resources and support to families to participate in check-ins, such as downloading the Teaching Strategies Family Portal, and to utilize weekly check-in time to provide updates on procedures related to the school or site's response to COVID-19, to share ongoing information on the child's developmental progress using evidence-based observations, to provide individualized recommendations for activities and engagement opportunities for the family to best be able to support their child. It is also recommended that teachers encourage families to bring questions, concerns, and ideas and evidence of learning at home, and to encourage the child to be an active participant in the check-in as well. Regarding daily instruction for classrooms with remote learners only, teachers must coordinate and provide at least 2 check-ins per week for each remote family or learner. In a full remote learning environment, it is essential that families remain in contact with their teacher. Therefore, the requirement is 2 check-ins as opposed to 1. To reiterate, for hybrid learning classrooms, teachers must coordinate and provide at least 1 check-in per week for each family. And for full remote learning classrooms, teachers must coordinate and provide at least 2 check-ins per week for each remote learner or family. A child's or family's attendance and participation in remote learning is defined as participating in weekly check-ins, either the 1 or 2, depending on the mode of instruction. It is more reliable for teachers to document ongoing participation in check-ins as a way to track attendance. On to monitoring. This was approved locally by School Readiness and NC Pre-K Committee. I will complete formal site visits twice a year to ensure their adherence of program requirements, share site assessment results, share parent survey results, and to provide an opportunity for sites to express concerns or ask questions. The Family Engagement Site Monitoring Tool will be used during these visits, and formal site visits will be completed during the months of October and April. The Family Engagement Site Monitoring Tool is a checklist used to monitor site information biannually for all programs. At least 50% of each classroom will be reviewed. Results from the site monitoring tool and site visits will be used to ensure uniformity across all programs. When program requirements have not been met, a written action plan will be established to meet compliance that includes documentation defining who is responsible for accomplishing the task, a timeline and other information to indicate progress toward meeting the requirement, and also failure to comply with requirements may directly affect a site slot allocation for the following school year. Regarding requirements, I will always send a reminder email prior to a requirement deadline. More than likely, it will be 2 weeks prior to that deadline. In addition to the requirements and monitoring established by DPFC. DCDEE is also requiring monitoring for family-child check-ins and remote moments. Taylor and I have created a tracking system using Google Sheets. You are able to edit and view a Google Sheet without a Gmail account. Since we are remote, we believe this is the most efficient way as it is in real time. Teachers, you will have access to your assigned classrooms, and directors will have access to all classrooms at your site. Teachers, we ask that you have your submissions completed each week by Friday at 7 p.m. For example, monitoring begins Tuesday, September 8th. All monitoring for that week should be completed by Friday, September 11th at 7 p.m. This deadline is extremely important as DPFC is required to compile this data for the entire program and report it to DCDEE. As stated previously, family engagement will be implemented within the child care program and also within the home. I provided a table of family engagement ideas and suggestions. These events and activities may look different due to COVID, but if you are in need of ideas, please let me know. Also, feel free to make contact with teachers at other sites to exchange ideas as well. Now let's transition to culturally responsive teaching. It plays a role not only in communication and receiving information, but also in shaping the thinking process of groups and individuals. Not only must teachers encourage academic success and cultural competence, but they must help students to recognize, understand, and critique current social inequities. By observing students in their home and community environment, teachers are able to include aspects of the student's cultural environment in the organization and instruction of the classroom. So below, I've included some actions that teachers can practice. In creating an equitable classroom climate, teachers must be intentional about eliminating bias and creating a culturally responsive classroom climate. 6 strategies that teachers should implement to create an environment in which all children have equitable opportunities to learn include: teachers must acknowledge their own biases and inequitable actions when they participate in professional development on harassment and equity issues. Teachers make an effort to learn about their students' cultural backgrounds when they plan family nights or cultural events that encourage discussion. Teachers examine curriculum and learning materials for bias when they do classroom displays, and instructional materials include positive representations of diverse cultures. Teachers are able to build relationships with families and communities when they invite local community groups to make presentations or conduct workshops. And lastly, teachers build caring, cooperative classroom environments when they immediately confront any biased or discriminatory behavior in the classroom or school. On page 6, I've included a calendar with holidays or observances that may be incorporated within the child care program and in conjunction with parent and family interests. Lastly, we will review page 7, which is a list of resource documents. If an item is underlined, it indicates that it's a hyperlink. So you can click on it and it will take you directly to that form. The family engagement packet will be sent to families 1 week prior to school starting. This packet gives families an idea of what is to come. It involves remote learning, tips, expectations, opportunities for them to engage with us, and more. Newsletters will be sent quarterly to sites and families with program updates. These newsletters may also include parent articles, recipes, and other fun things. Next, we will take a look at the other forms. Here, this is the photo and video release. This is the consent form completed by parents and guardians to use photos and or videos to promote universal pre-K and for remote learning. Families will also receive an electronic version where they can complete it via Google Forms. It is embedded in their welcome packet. This is the Pre-K Child Introduction Questionnaire. This form introduces the child to the pre-K staff. It addresses a child's interests, child's strengths, allergies, learning styles, and preferred method of parental involvement. It can be used for home visits as well, and it's available in English and Spanish. So if you scroll down to page 2, you will see the Spanish form. It's the same for the photo and video release as well. The Pre-K Child Profile is a form used to capture demographic information, the best way to contact parents, family participation, child's progress, suggested development strategies, and may also assist in parent-teacher conference dialogue. We have the home visit request form, which is a form used to assist sites in scheduling home visits. If you have your own form, that's completely fine, but you're more than welcome to use this template. The home visiting practices form is a resource document created for sites to reference when planning home visits and includes links to videos, ideas, and training information. Also to mention, I will be having teacher check-ins. It just would be to connect with you all to share family engagement ideas, strategies, and best practices. What works for your families may work differently for other families, so just a time to connect. And also I will be connecting with families via Zoom as well. This folder here holds all of the TS Gold letters, with your letters embedded in the system to communicate with families about curriculum. And once again, these are available in both English and Spanish. And there was also a letter to families about the family portal. One of the programs that the partnership will host throughout the school year is Take Care Tuesday, which is an open space for parents and guardians, usually held on the 4th Tuesday of each month. You all will receive email notifications about that. I will also make monthly contact with sites and families. Those resources will include Durham Partnership for Children events, community events, free resources, and family engagement tips and tricks. And another form here, this is the NC Pre-K Reopening Guidance. It provides a ton of information regarding TS Gold training, remote moments, and family child check-ins. I definitely encourage you to read that from beginning to end. Also, throughout the school year, I will provide additional resources as needed or by request. So if you have any questions about anything, feel free to either give me a call or send me an email. Lastly, this is the monitoring form that Taylor and I will be using to track check-ins and remote moments. Once again, it is to be completed weekly, each Friday by 7 p.m. No worries about filling in a student name. When you receive these forms, we will have that information filled in for you. You will just need to complete whether the check-in was completed, whether the remote moment was completed, the method you use, and if not, please provide the reason why. Once again, if you have any questions about any of this information, please let us know. Well, we've reached the end of this video. I hope that it was helpful to you, and I'm excited to work with you all in serving families for the 2020-2021 school year. Thank you.